Welcome language learners from all around the globe to Listen Up, the podcast that takes you on a captivating voyage through the English language. Whether you've just started your journey or have been navigating the intricacies of English for some time, this podcast is designed to be your trusty compass, guiding you towards fluency and unlocking the wonders of English. I'm your host, Karen, a passionate traveller and an experienced teacher of English as a second language. Join me as we embark on an exciting expedition filled with British history read by a native speaker. Together, we'll conquer the challenges and celebrate the victories of learning English as a foreign language. Each episode of Listen Up will immerse you in a variety of topics, from aspects of British culture, history, and literature. We'll explore useful vocabulary that will empower you to communicate confidently in English. If you want to read along with the podcast, head to my website www.onepawinthesand.com/ESL. The link is in the description. But this podcast isn't just about learning English in isolation. It's about building a community of language learners, supporting one another, and fostering a love of the English language. I encourage you to engage with us through my Patreon page, where you can connect with fellow learners, ask questions, and share your own language journey. So, whether you're sipping tea in Tokyo, walking the streets in Sao Paulo, or studying in a bustling cafe in Berlin, Listen Up is here to accompany you on your quest for English fluency. Join me as we embark on this transformative expedition, where language becomes an adventure and your dreams of effective communication become a reality. Today's episode is called Boating Hero. Many years ago, in the early 1800s, there was a big ship called the Forfarshire. In the year 1838, it got caught in a very scary storm near a rocky shore called Northumberland in England. This storm was so bad that it became a famous story of sadness and bravery. The Forfarshire was not new to rough seas, as it usually sailed in the North Sea. It was a big boat with large wheels on its sides to move it forward. On September 5th, 1838, it started its journey from a place called Hull in England towards Scotland. It had 63 people on board, including passengers and crew. But they didn't know that the next day would bring a very tough challenge. As the Forfarshire moved along the Northumberland coast, it met a very strong storm. The wind was so powerful, nearly a hurricane, and the waves were very big and rough. The ship started to have problems. Its engines stopped working, and the people on board tried very hard to control it, but things got worse, and they all realised that they were in very big trouble. On this day, 7th of September 1838, in the early morning, something very bad happened. The Forfarshire crashed into some rocks near a place called the Farne Islands, not far from Northumberland. This crash was terrible, made a huge hole in the ship, and the engines couldn't work anymore. The ship was stuck on the lonely rocks, and everyone on the ship was very scared and didn't know what to do. The people on the ship were very frightened, and everything became very chaotic. Passengers and crew were trying to stay calm, but it was very hard. But in the middle of all this chaos, there was a hero named Grace Darling. Grace Darling was a girl who lived on an island called Longstone. She was the daughter of the lighthouse keeper. From her home, she saw what happened to the Forfarshire She knew it was an emergency, so she and her dad, William Darling, made a brave choice. They took a small rowboat and went into the dangerous storm to help the people on the stranded ship. Grace and her dad saved 9 passengers and 4 crew members. They did something very amazing and brave. People all over Britain heard about their heroic actions, and Grace Darling became a hero in the whole country. Even though Grace and her dad saved some, many people on the Forfarshire still lost their lives because of the storm and the cold sea. This sad event reminds us that sailing on the dangerous North Sea in the 1800s was very risky. The Forfarshire story is a part of history that makes us feel both very sad and very proud. It shows that even when things are very tough, there can be moments of great bravery that give us hope and inspire us. And that wraps up another episode of Listen Up. I hope you enjoyed learning about my topic today and practicing your English. Remember, the exploration doesn't have to end here. If you have any lingering questions or want to continue the conversation, I've got some great opportunities for you. First off, I offer private lessons for those of you eager to expand your knowledge further, whether it's practicing today's subject or exploring other topics. I'm here to guide you on your English journey. Reach out to me through my website or social media platforms, and let's embark on a personalised learning experience together. I have been involved with training people for more than 10 years. I've been teaching English as a second language for over a year, in which time I have taught over 500 students, many of whom are regulars. But wait, there's more! If you're a devoted fan of Listen Up and want to show your support, consider joining our Patreon community. Your contribution directly helps us bring you more episodes and maintain the quality of our show. Your support truly means the world to me, and we couldn't continue this podcast without you. So whether you choose private lessons or Patreon, or both, I look forward to staying connected and exploring the fascinating realms of English as a second language together. Thank you once again for joining us on Listen Up. Until next time, keep practicing.